Hi! All right, let's talk about quitting social media, but let's keep in mind something here. This is really important. You can quit smoking by putting the cigarettes down and walking away. You can't do that for eating. If you want to lose weight, you can't put the food down and walk away. Well, guess what? I think the same is true of social media. So, I know several of you have already tried. Doesn't work too well. What I decided to do was to focus on a lot on my YouTube channel, an awful lot, because I'm 79 years old. I've got a lot I want to say to people before I die. So I better get my acting gear, and I didn't really pick my channel back up until January of this year, so I've got a lot of work to do. Anyway, and a little bit on Facebook. I'm not doing Instagram or TikTok or much else. That's it. It's Facebook full force, and it's a little bit on Facebook, keeping up with some of my friends and some people that are important to me. It's sort of like intermittent fasting, which I also do. So there we go. And what has it done for me? Well, I think the best thing it's done for me is gotten me away from thinking I'm not worthwhile or putting my energy levels down or making me feel like I'm not following the right paths. Because what I'm doing on YouTube is I'm thinking about things I've done all my life, and I'm pushing them out there, regardless of what it is. Even though they say pick one niche to make money, I don't really imagine that's where I'm headed. What I'm headed for is to make sure I leave a legacy. I learned this the hard way. I had a really good friend, and she was really, really into Facebook. Into YouTube. And I didn't really pay attention, except that I saw that she had a lot of equipment and a lot of money involved. I went to her home several times, and I was just floored at all the equipment. She had her own special room. She had rented a 2-bedroom apartment just so she could have a separate room for her YouTube studio, and I just thought, oh boy, that's never going to happen. I just can't possibly do that. So it wasn't until I understood that I didn't really need to spend that kind of money to make it work that I could push forward. And my daughter suggested I revive the channel. I think I opened it in 2019 or 2021 when she suggested it, and I just kind of abandoned it. I said a couple of words and ran away. And speaking is not my issue, believe me. That's another thing I've learned, is learning how to be a public speaker was one of the smartest moves I made. So that really wasn't the problem. The problem was this incredible fear that I had to spend a lot of money to talk about my heritage. I mean, my legacy, the things I've done in life, the things I want to talk about, the places I've been and the things I did and meet people I saw and that sort of thing. And that's kind of what happens with social media. You create this group of people and you want to interact with them, but oh boy, they can be tough. They can be so critical, and I'm a doomer. And they don't understand that. A lot of people will criticize like crazy that you say, oh, the world is going to collapse. We're going to have supply chain problems. We're going to, because I believe we are. I sincerely believe we have leadership problems. I believe we have sincere problems with our climate. I think we have lots of political challenges. I think we have supply chain problems. I think we have a lot of pirates and that sort of thing on the highways and the riverways, seaways. So pulling back from social media has given me a lot more energy, because when I'm on YouTube and I'm talking about things like this, choices I've made, things I've thought about a lot, and decided to, somebody's having some rocks delivered down below. It's a long way down. It's a long way down. But the sound comes up when somebody drops rocks. Gosh, I love this place. It's really exciting to be retired and living in my absolute dream. I mean, look at that incredible blue sky. Isn't that just amazing? It is so blue, and the clouds are so white. And see, on Facebook, I can't really make videos like this that I can on YouTube, where I can share with you the things that delight me. And what delights me now is not having criticism and not feeling bad. You know, my mother didn't like me, and she told me that all the time. And that kind of thing really doesn't leave, you know. So I go on social media, and people comment, and they criticize, and they carry on, and it just takes your breath away and takes your energy away. It makes you feel worn out, when what I really want to do is I want to bring up my energy levels. I want to feel good about myself. I want to feel like I made smart choices. I feel like moving to Ecuador and renting a whole farm. I've got about a 5-acre farm here. And it's not just that. It's the fact that this farm ends in about 15, 20 feet, but then it's straight downhill for God only knows how far until there's a house. I mean, we can go look. Come on over here. I'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Look how far down those houses are. And wherever that rock truck was way, way down there. So I can say to you, golly, I came to Ecuador and I rented a farm, 5-acre farm, and all around me I'm the top of the mountain, so all around me everything goes down. And so I have a lot of privacy, I have a lot of quiet, and that helps my energy level too. You just can't imagine the different things that you can do that just change your life. I mean, for 7 years I was living where we had built our dream home. Our dream home was to get a piece of leased land so that we weren't appreciating. In other words, making the value of the land more higher for the next person to buy. But we were instead just helping someone else put value into their land. And so it was 516 acres, and we just had a little third of an acre and our little house, $120,000 for the house and the fencing and the plants and everything we had done on it. And it turns out it was a greenwashing scam. It was a scam. She did everything to get rid of us, and it was so hard, and both our energy levels were down, and both of us just felt bad, and there was a lot of abuse. We couldn't bring what we wanted to bring to eat or drink, or there was always, everything we bought was examined. We couldn't maintain the place. We couldn't fix things unless we went to a court order and got permission, and it was really distressing. And that kind of thing pulls you down. So that's why when you compare that to social media, you really have something to compare to, and that's really, really important, to be able to pick something out and say, wow, this made me feel less empowered. This made me feel more empowered. Ooh, and also that made me feel less empowered, and this made me feel more empowered. And when you get that kind of a flow going, you have a much better idea of what's going on in your life and what you want to go on in your life and how you'd like your life to be. And certainly as retired people, we want our life to be quiet, private, making our own choices, not have anybody telling us what to do. Being told what to do is hard at a lot of points in your life, even when you're a 2-year-old child. You don't want them to say, don't touch that, but it might be a hot stove. You just don't know. It's tough. But at my age, I know a hot stove when I see one. And I just want to be me. No matter what it is that takes away who I am, my self-confidence, my joy in life. And if it happens to be social media, well, then I need to step back. Okay, so thank you for coming here today. If you have any questions, just put them down below, or any comments. If you enjoyed this, subscribing would be great, because that's the way the game is played. If you want to talk to me, I'm happy to meet you on social media. If you do go down below, check out Summerland. Myself and another woman who is over 75 makes paintings to represent